us. Brad Panovich is here, our chief meteorologist. Brad, seeing some severe thunderstorms right now.
Yeah, we've been watching these move across the area for a while. I'll give you an update here on the severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently in effect. We still have some for Mecklenburg, Union, York County, and Chester County till 7:45. Lancaster County till 7:45 as well. Also some new warnings issued for parts of Cherokee County, Union County, South Carolina, York, as well as Chester. That is up until 8:15. So basically this whole line, as it's been moving south, we've seen warnings along it, pushing in from the north. Right now, it looks like it's moving south around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Damaging winds, the primary concern. I'm getting a lot of reports around the Fort Mill, Rock Hill area, also Indian Land, of a lot of trees down. We saw some pretty strong winds in there, and I'll quickly show you the velocity data here. We'll have to pause it real quickly in there, and I'll kind of show you some of the wind speeds that we're seeing in those cells moving through the panhandle of Lancaster County. So think about those areas just between Sun City and going south towards Van Wyck area. Those are the areas that we're starting to see some of the stronger velocity couplets. So let me kind of show you real quickly. Oh, well, of course we lose data briefly there. We've been losing data. It's not just us. It's been kind of in and out from the Weather Service, but I'll back it up here. So this is around 7:25. I'll zoom into this area. So you see those areas right around 521. Basically, if you know where Sun City is, south of the new Costco, the Super Walmart, when you cross the line there, going south. Those brighter colors right in here, those are 60 mile per hour winds. So those extended into parts of York County as well. So a good chance we're going to see some more reports of damage coming in. Now there is a ground stop currently at the airport. They're having major issues. I'm looking at the airport right now. 71% of the departures are delayed at an average an hour and 10 minutes. Arrivals 24% are delayed. So it's definitely departures, because the ground stop means basically folks couldn't take off, and that'll have a trickle-down effect going into tomorrow. So if you have travel out there, you're going to run into some issues. Now, what's interesting is there's another wave of storms up in the Ohio Valley that caused a bunch of issues earlier today, and there's actually a new severe thunderstorm watch that does include parts of Watauga County, Ashe County, Wilkes County till 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'll kind of show you that second line of storms. Now, I don't expect it to make it all the way to Charlotte, but there's a real good chance that that can make a decent run at the mountains later tonight. You could see that second line, and I'll loop this. It basically has been racing south from Charleston, West Virginia, Lexington, Kentucky, now moving into southwestern Virginia. I mean, this isn't too far away from getting to the mountains in the next, I'd say, 2 hours or so, but 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, we might see that move in. Now, I'm kind of interested how fast those storms are going. I want to clock some of those real quickly, and I'm going to track them for you. So I'm looking at the warnings up in that area real quickly. I'm looking at the speed of some of these storms. 70 mile per hour winds. They're moving southeast at 35. So that gives me some good intel on tracking this. So let me put a storm track on that. I got to do a couple of things here as I'm talking to you. I'm going to make it 35 miles per hour because that's the forward speed. So we'll do a big track on this into our mountain counties just to give you kind of a sneak peek at how it's going to get in there. So Bristol 807, Boone 908. So folks in the Boone area 908, Glassy Creek area 930. Lenore, if it makes it that far south, it would be closer to 945. So we might be tracking a whole nother line of storms, Colin, coming up at 11 o'clock, and that would be that secondary line that you see. And there is one tornado warning up there where Kentucky, Virginia, West Virginia all come together. That's the coal countries up there of eastern Kentucky, southwest Virginia, and West Virginia. So those storms, this is their second or third round of storms moving through that area. And you can see the first line is making it through the Charlotte area now, and there could be a good 2 hour, 3 hour gap before that next line moves in. Real quickly, just an update on power outages, just a quick tour. Rowan County was the worst. They're down to about 6,000 outages. Iredell County, about 1,100. Cabarrus County, 1,200. Mecklenburg, 4,098 outages as well. York County, only 283, and Union County, 89. So between Mecklenburg, Cabarrus, Iredell, and Rowan, we all have several thousand people without power right now. And primarily that seems to be due to power outages from tree branches coming in contact with power lines. And that's kind of the the threat we would see this evening. I will also tell you there is a flash flood warning in effect for southeastern parts of Cabarrus County as well as Stanley County. And just real quickly to show you the rainfall estimates in this area. This area has been hit a couple times with rain, and it's also been sitting. So the Midland area saw some flooding, almost 3 inches of rain there. So anywhere in southern or southeastern Cabarrus County, southern Stanley County, even northern Union County, you could see some flash flooding here through the evening hours. So it's been a very active evening, Colin. Actually, during my live weather impact show, we took a power hit. We kind of crashed everything. So even here at the station, we've had some power hits. But those storms are moving south quickly, and we should see a lull in the activity. But the airport is going to have some lingering issues. I'm looking at takeoff time, trying to see when things are going to pick back up. It is brutal out there. I'm trying to find the route with the worst. So real quickly, going to Chicago, 20 flights to Chicago are delayed, 17 to LaGuardia, 11 to JFK, 9 to Wilmington. That's kind of interesting. And then 9 to Hartsfield and Norfolk. So it seems like the Chicago O'Hare and LaGuardia flights are the ones most impacted. But again, the delays are pretty pronounced. 71% of departures are delayed an average of an hour and 11 minutes now. And 4% of the flights have been canceled. So if you've got flights tonight or early tomorrow, Colin, I would definitely be calling ahead because these storms have wreaked havoc out at the airport.
Yeah, following Flight Aware, you can see the airport experience kind of showing you all of these flights, all of these green flights taking off in different directions. And some of the blue flights that I think are incoming, you're seeing them stay way outside of the Charlotte viewing area. So very interesting as this ground stop continues. And yeah, as you mentioned, this will roll into tomorrow, impacting people flying out from Charlotte Douglas and, of course, other connection points around America, specifically the eastern seaboard. It seems like we're not the only ones kind of dealing with this type of in a unstable environment, at least seeing some of those storms coming through. And I did see they had some emergency notifications coming out in Campbell County near Cincinnati. So these storms have been coming, as you were showing us, to the south and to the east, which will make for an interesting night. Now, I was just along I-40 with a lot of stabilization still ongoing, and talking to my kids just about some of the rain that can come through the mountains. And I would imagine we're still dealing with flash flooding and some of the issues that we could have with some of the build back up and the restoration from Hurricane Helene. Any issues that you could see I guess maybe preventing that or maybe even bringing on those type of conditions?
I mean, that's another concern. I mean, the wind is the biggest concern, but these areas that got hit twice are likely going to see some flash flooding. So the next line coming into the mountains tonight, that would be more of a flash flood risk because they saw one wave of storms already. So when we look at the impacts, winds are number one for sure, but flooding would be my number two risk just because of the repeated areas being hit by those storms. So it'll be interesting to see how that second line progresses. I can look real quickly at our future cast. It hasn't done a great job. This kind of pattern, this northwest flow we call it, is really tough for the guidance because sometimes it picks it up really well and other times it just misses. But you can see the first batch moves through. The second batch, it's not really keen on, but the problem is I know that's going to make it to the mountains at least. So it's really struggling with that next band of storms. It's not really handling that big. We call it an MCS, and it's a fancy name for a thunderstorm complex, but you can see it up there crossing out of Kentucky right now. That is going to make it to the mountains at the very least. And if we widen this out, there's actually another one developing over Dakota. So this flow, I posted about this today. We call it the Ring of Fire because there's a big heat dome over Texas and Oklahoma, and these storms form on the edge or the ring of the upper ridge, and we give it that nickname Ring of Fire because these big clusters of storms will do this, and you could see how they're all being steered down here into the Carolinas. So there's a good chance we're going to see another round tonight, and I'm really interested to see what happens tomorrow because sometimes these storms can last all night. They will stabilize things, but then the sun comes out tomorrow and we get another round. Because think about Ohio, this is like their second or third wave of storms today. They woke up to storms, had some in the middle of the day, and then had a third batch in the evening. So it's been a rough stretch with this pattern.
and they've had a lot of rain already in Ohio. I mean, they had flash flooding for a consistent period, almost a week or so. I remember seeing roads on 77 and 71, 75 near Cincinnati that were just covered with rain, and obviously a deluge happening a little bit earlier there. And I guess, the question is, we have heat and humidity that really ramp up towards the end of the week here, Brad. Now, our atmosphere can be juiced up by more sunshine tomorrow. Do you expect, it sounds like we could have some issues the next couple of days, and the heat and humidity really don't impact storm chances, right?
Well, they could actually fuel them more. I mean, they're kind of connected. In this case, the heat and humidity, which is going to be, it's going to be horrible. I mean, some of the worst heat indices we've seen all year.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, it could be sunny, hot, and dry like it was for most of today. I mean, you could barely see a cloud in the sky today, and then about 4 or 5 o'clock, the storms move in, and I think that could be a theme we see the next couple of days. It will be plenty hot, and the hotter, more humid it gets, we could see kind of what I call delayed storms, late evening, like after sunset, because they're coming from the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. So we could be hot and dangerous heat all day, but then see storms at night because of that fuel that was built up during the day. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. I do think storm chances go down as the week goes on, but I would not be surprised tomorrow to see another round and then quieter for Thursday and Friday. Right now, to me, Friday looks to be the worst day for heat. I've got a forecast heat index of 108 in the afternoon.
Wow.
And an air temperature of 98, so really hot. So kids and parents out there, I know there's a lot of kids that practice for high school, marching band, everything else. Make sure you're hydrating your kids. Make sure before and after these practices. Hopefully they're avoiding the middle of the day, which they should. The coaches and trainers will do a great job keeping them safe. But what you can do at home is make sure they're being hydrated in the morning and at night, because one of the things about athletics, people just don't drink enough and they wait till they're thirsty, and that's usually when you're getting into trouble. You want to do that way ahead of time.
Right. All right. So as we watch some of these warnings, do we expect them to expire? I saw there was one until 7:45, but
yeah. That's our latest one right now, and I would suspect that I'll go back to the map here real quickly and kind of show you. 7:45, I think most of these are going to expire. I haven't seen a new one issued.
Okay.
The only one that's still going to be in effect, and you can see it's like Western York County and Chester. That one is up until 8:15, and then there's one kind of clips Richmond County. But you're right. The warnings for most of the area have expired, except for that one for York, Chester, and Union County, South Carolina, not Union County, North Carolina. That's till 8:15, and so we've got another, less than a half hour with that one. Still some flood warnings to 9:30, but the good news is the worst of the first wave is almost past us. It will be done by 8 o'clock, and then we'll have to watch that second line, which if you can tune in tonight at 11, Colin, I'll be probably tracking that one going at least through the mountains and foothills by then.
Sounds good.